hello everyone. Welcome to the day one of Learn.Build cohort, and this is for the web development day one, and we are going to make a React app with the help with our mentor Nirupama Singh here, and we are going to make a. So this cohort is initially designed to help you build a project in 4 weeks. So we'll be making a single project in 4 weeks of learning alongside. So I urge everyone to build alongside and learn something. We'll be sharing resources with you in the group so that you can learn as well as build something out of it. This is not like you are watching some YouTube session and then just forgetting whatever you are learning there. So we will try to focus more on building sites. So even if you don't understand something, you can try dropping your doubts in the maybe in the comment section or in the group as well. Anything works for us. But the most important thing is you should make a project, and by the end of this the 4 week program cohort, you should make something out of it. Some at least you should make a project, and there will be multiple things that our mentor will be covering. So if at any part of time you feel like you are not understanding some point of time, you can just skip it and you can just jump off to the next thing, because we not need to learn everything, right? There needs to be, it's a step-by-step process. So if you learn A, then you will learn B, C. This is not how it works. You can learn A, you can learn C as well, because there are multiple things at the same time that you are learning. So sometimes that urge of learning everything hardcore, that's not the right approach. So we will so I'll expect you to build focus more on building site. So not wasting much more time, I'll quickly pass on the stage to Nirupama ma'am.
Hi Lakshit. Hi everyone. For those who are watching, I would like some kind of an intimation for your side in the comments or something that you're listening, and then we'll get started. Today's talk is only mostly going to be about what's React and how much are you aware about React, so that we are able to decide what ground we stand on and how much extra we can do so that little parts can be skipped. That I would expect you. I'm always there to help, but I would expect then that the little parts are covered by you so that we are able to build a bigger picture in the total scenario. So yes, maybe okay. I think I'll just get started. I'll share my screen. Um, oh yes, yes. So this is my VS Code. So first of all, let's talk about React. Can you all is my screen visible? Yes, it's good to go. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about React. If basically, I would say that we're just now for 10-15 minutes. Let's talk about what React has been doing, what are the different situations of the React in the community, so that you're not only just able to learn, but you're also able to get your doubts cleared or teach in the future. So basically, React is a popular JavaScript library for building front end. Front end is basically your user interface. Whatever your application is, always there's a part of it that's doing something that's not visible to the user, and there's a part of it that is doing something because the user is able to see that part and do some actions, or maybe read data or whatever is happening on the screen at the laptop or your phone. That part, React is responsible for building that part. React is one of the frameworks responsible for it. There are many more frameworks that you can actually use. There's Angular, there's Vue, there's Next.js has come up. There's so many things with a different list of features that you can actually explore, but the fundamentals will always remain the same. So I would say, if you're learning with me, you parallelly keep a track of your JavaScript. Even if basics, then we'll eventually learn together. We are going to make a to-do app, and there will be some parts of adding and deleting and editing. And I would love for you to just be on the same pace with me. If there are any doubts, you can always drop in on the channels we have created with you. And uh, there will be animations and stuff. Everything is going to be presented by me first, but JavaScript is a prerequisite that you necessarily require, at least even for you to understand what I'm going to write. Eventually, HTML and CSS, I expect that you have joined a web development course of a framework, so you are almost a lot aware about it, but I can help you out there as well. I'll keep adding a few tips and stuff around in the session. So yes, as I've already mentioned, React is one of the JavaScript libraries that they compiled and made a front end framework into. So it was created and maintained by Facebook, and then there's a bunch of huge community people who are learning and individual developers who eventually add to the you know more additions of features in React. So let's start with the basic development of the environment, and not start basically, but I would just list the prerequisites once. What the things that you uh, immediately require for your app to be built are npm and node. So they should be installed on your system, and you can download them easily from their official websites. And let me know if you need any help there as well. I will show you once you're done downloading. So this is my VS Code. This is the code editor I highly use, and you can just simply go to your terminal from the VS Code. I'll just zoom it for you, or your command prompt on your system, and you can check the version of Node. This will verify that you have something downloaded. Then I will check the npm version. This dash v will basically check the version, which means it you have npm and node on your system, and the version is mostly the latest one that you're using. And in the future, when you keep using a lot of React apps, you'll create something today, and the next year you will realize the different values of different React versions as well. Those are some deeper topics to dive into. But if you do not have node or npm installed, I would recommend you download it today after the session maybe, and then start building on something that we will talk about today. So this is the way how you check that you have node and npm on your system. So now let's go to the next thing. So, but why, like I mentioned, there's front end frameworks, like Angular, Vue, and everything. Why are we using and learning about React today? We could be learning about anyone. It's not like anyone's better than anyone, or higher in regards to developer's choice. It's just they all offer a little different value. So what the biggest thing that React offers to us is a component based structure. So everything in the architecture of a React app is actually a component. Your whole UI is divided into a list of different usable components that you can just have. So one simple layman thing to like about React components, the component based system, is that your code looks very organized. You're able to understand more of your code. You do not have a page which has like 1,000 lines of codes, and then you're searching, and then you're checking where the code went, and then there's a lot of things when you make a page of 100 lines of code, right? So you can actually component all this little segments of your page, make them into a different file, and then use them on a single page, which saves you a lot of energy, time, and management time of your own project, as well as it's more sustainable. So it's reusable. Then the different topics to be pondered upon are we are going to learn about state and props while we are making our to-do list app. Another thing that React gives you is a virtual DOM. So React uses a simple virtual DOM to improve the rendering performance. So I'll show you the example how it exactly whatever you write in your React, it's in JSX form or simple JS, whatever you're doing, React actually uses a virtual DOM where it sends all of your code, renders it into a simple, HTML code, and then shows it to the user, which it maintains a virtual present representation of it in its memory. So when the change occurs, React simply calculates the difference between, you've written something, it has rendered somewhere, and then it has displayed. Now I've made some change. So the change will automatically be reloaded based on the difference between my code and the virtual DOM code, the image that the virtual DOM has of the code, right? So it reduces unnecessary rendering and clicking on F5. Then it has declarative syntax. We'll notice it while we code, and it is very integration friendly. If you check the docs for React, so there's React.dev, then there's legacy React.dev there are many documentations that I can probably drop on the channel we have, and it is very easy to study from these channels, and they have documentations for everything. But if you want to go beyond, and you want to build some authentication system or anything, you want to integrate Azure with React, so there are so many documentations available. This is some benefit that I see that React has over some other more you know frameworks, that the React is so much integration friendly, also because of the number of documentation there are that are available, that you can learn more every day. So you do not have to figure everything out on your own. The community is right there for you to help you figure out. So let's get started. We have already spoken about the prerequisites, Node and NPM. I'll just clear this. So basically, this currently I have a simple VS Code open. No folder is open. I will just create a folder for you. Let's name it. Um, what- First React, right? Let's name it first React. And you should, the naming convention for React folders is that there shouldn't be many any caps, and there shouldn't be any space. So then you're good to go. So that's why I've used a dash in between. So basically, currently I'm making a folder where I will be creating my React app. So this directory has been made. I'll just enter the directory, and we have entered the directory. Now all that I simply have to do to set up a React app is run npx. You can do also as well do npm, but npx does it more efficiently and fastly, and it does not download anything. It just copies and creates your whole React app, which makes it more sustainable. So I'll just npx and create React app is a sim React app is a simple code that the React, they have created to just type this and you're good to go. Everything we'll see what it shows. I will add a period here, dot, because I want to create the React app inside the folder that I am in. So this is how your screen should look when you first do it. So it says creating a new React app. This has all happened only because of this create React app command. So this might take a while. Uh, in the meanwhile, do we have any questions, any comments, anything you want to add or tell us? All right. So this is taking a while. This is usually the amount of time it requires. All right. Meanwhile, I'll just walk you through what we are more going to do in the coming future. Let's see. We had a little curriculum made. I'll just open it up. It's still going. All right. So basically, what we'll be doing is creating a simple to-do app, and we'll be talking about props and state to render all the to-do to-dos that you will be adding to your own website. So we'll eventually be hosting it using GitHub pages, so that you are able to use your own to-do app to work more efficiently. It could be a productivity app that you work on over the course of the 4 classes, I think, that are going to be held every weekend. If in the meanwhile you would love to add something to it as a productivity feature to your website, definitely text me about it, and we can work on it. And then the we'll add a few animations. We'll even work on a single class. We'll work on the CSS part of it, maybe using React Bootstrap or Tailwind, whatever you are more comfortable with or you want to learn first. Okay, so this is good. As you can see right now, it says that, success created first React. This was my folder name at this location. Inside the directory, you can run several commands. First command is npm start. Npm start is basically, as it suggests, to start your server. Then there's run build, there's test, there's run and reject. So this is just some documentation from React's end. So we are already in the terminal. We are in the React first React folder, but on my VS Code, I think we're just on the simple, uh, no folder. What we'll do is from here we'll go. We are already, and if you want to code in a particular folder, all you have to do from the terminal is type code period and enter. I will just change the screen. Okay. So now you can see on my screen when I clicked on code dot, this particular window opened up. Now let's see what they've built. Right, this is whatever you're looking at here is everything installed by React. So as a little setup of a React app. So this is already in some segments. We'll be creating the components part of it. It's not there yet. You can see in the package.json there's React, there's React DOM, scripts, and Web Vitals. There's nothing else. Maybe we'll install a few packages and check how they work, and explore a few bits here and there. Then first of all, what you want to do is let's see what they have made for us. So what I'll be doing in my terminal is I will npm start this. Okay. uh, as you can see, this has starting the development server, and it says a few things are behind, so we'll look into that later. And I will where's my screen. All right, I'll just share my entire screen once. Okay, so can you see my screen? All right. I would just require some confirmation that you.
Yes, we
All
can.
right.
We can see your screen.
All right. So basically, when I clicked on npm React over here, npm start, it started my server and it has automatically on its own started running on localhost 3000. This is what they've built. Now let's see where this whole part is built inside the code that we're seeing. Where's the code for it? Okay. So what I'll do is this is your main app. App.js is where everything's in. Okay, we can see clearly that here it's written create source app.js and save to reload. So this is the part they are talking about. So all of your code is here. Learn React. They have given the direct, website for the learning part of it. What we'll do first is to create our own React app. Let's just do the most cliche thing and write hello world. So I will be deleting all of this. I will be deleting everything, every CSS they've built. Let's delete all of this for now. That's the logo that they were using over here, and I've deleted it for now. So let me, and I want to write h1 and hello world. It. So this has been printed. So for you to have a clean code to look into and start diving into, I would suggest just okay. So I would suggest uh, whenever you first create React app and open up something and we want to do hello world, but what there are not a lot of unnecessary, or I would say additional things that React makes you download. So I would just delete all of these. So app.css we can leave currently. This was built by them. Let's delete it for now. And we can delete this. This is of no use to us. Then if you have doubts about why we are deleting this, you can ask me. We will just require one CSS, and if required more, we'll build accordingly. Till then, and rest of the things we can delete. So we are keeping app.js, index.js, and app.css, right? So in the app.js, currently we just have hello world written. Now let's explore index.js. So index.js says that it is rendering the app. What is app? App is here, which was here simple app.js, and it is rendering it inside the strict mode. So we have already deleted it. We can simply remove it from here as well. And we've deleted index.css. We have, and rest of it has to go because we'll be using these features later on, right? This can go as well. Now this was your source folder. Let's figure out the public folder. Now this, as I was talking about a virtual DOM, right? We were talking about a virtual DOM. So whenever you have a particular code, you run it npm start, it goes into the virtual DOM, renders it nicely, creates an image of it, and shows it to the user, as we have seen here. So what part of it is rendering it into HTML, right? Now this is your code for app.js where it says hello world. Now let's see the source code for this particular page using just simple inspect, and here we'll be able to see that we have head, then we have a body, and inside the body there's a root, and inside the root there's a div that says hello world. But we do not have everything else from here except the hello world part, that is also inside a simple function called app, and then it returns this value. So how this is the part where it's been rendering in between. Now it is a simple HTML code that we can see on the user side, but on the backend we are creating little functions that can be reused after rendering. They are run here, and as you can see here, id is root. Instead, this is the part where it's been fetching all your code from app.js, right? So in this folder as well, we can delete everything except the index.html part. Do not delete that part. You are going to highly require it, because without that you won't be able to run anything. I think we can remove the unnecessary parts from here as well. And this is simple no script, and we're good to go. We have a simple React app that says hello world, and it's running right now. So the part where I said that it's the the good part about the virtual DOM is whenever I make a change here, let's say I am just hello world, my name is Nirupama. All I've done is typed it till now. I've not written, press any other F5, run, or I'm still on my VS Code. All I'm simply going to do is change my tab, and it's already there. It has already re-rendered itself after checking the difference between the image in the virtual DOM and here on the code, and it has refreshed on its own to avoid extra unnecessary refreshes. Okay, so by now we have mostly covered how you're going to get started with it. There's nothing extra to add, but I'm pretty sure there could be many doubts about it. There could be times if you're downloading a Node or NPM for the first time, I would highly recommend you check a few tutorials on YouTube, come back to me for help. But a lot of documentations and stuff are available already in the internet. So the best place, so for you to download NPM, just you can do is go to their official website and download. Then there's Node. There's official website called nodejs.org. You can download as per your features of your system. and you can text if you have any doubts. Other than that, you can simply, we saw you simply npx and create react app and name of your app. So yes, I would just like to clarify something. For example, this is my simple terminal. uh, so there, this time what we had done was we went to we made a directory first, and then we were inside the directory, we typed npx create react app and did a period. But if you do not want to do it, simply in your d folder, if you want to create a react app, npx create, oh, sorry, my bad, create react app, and you can name your directory anything. Let's, for example, to do app, and it will start making it. So this is the way, this is where you name your react app. Last time we did cover it. That's all. This will create, I'll eventually delete it. But other than that, if you want to look into react documentations, there's a bunch of very good websites that are running it, maintaining it. So there's react.dev, then uh, I would recommend good, there are very good articles on Mozilla, and there's Legacy, which is very good with components. So I will just, for the rest of this class today, I will just explain what's component and how do they look in in a simple sense on our website, on our code end, and then we'll get back later on. And if you, in case you have any doubts, you can drop in anytime. So these are some very good, it says how you could practical, they have practical tutorials, step by step guides. All of this is there that you can follow up on. Then on the react.dev website, you can see that they've created components and help you visualize them. You can copy them, learn from here. There's data passing and everything that you can visually see that has happened here. We'll be doing these things in the next classes and so on. So for, let's continue with the part of components. So whatever components, what I do as a practice, and you can find your own way to do this particular thing. What I do as a practice is I create a folder inside source. You are only supposed to create your components inside the source folder. So I will create a simple folder called components. So one thing that you can simply do is I will just name it home.js, JSX, and save it. Or the other practice is you can name it home.jsx, home, and inside home you can create home.jsx, as well as you can do home.css. So this makes all of your only, so you can store the css that's required only for home.jsx inside this folder. But the thing about this minute practices is sometimes we want to, like for example, why are we using react in the first place? So that we can have a lot of reusable code. So if I'm keeping my css in a particular folder only, then there's a less chance that I'll be able to use some particular heading font or some font, any color from the home.css as a css for any other page without making the number of lines increase. So that is why I practice this, where I just create all the components inside the components folder, and then I write all of my css on a simple page, where I can maybe have a practice of saying this, like this command is you can make a comment by control and the dash hyphen button, and you can just say home starts here, and this makes it easy for you to reuse your css as well. So instead, now I've made a home.jsx, and what I want to do is I do not wish to write it here directly. I want to write it in my home.jsx and then use it over here as a simple component, so that we are able to learn what is a component, right? So just give me a minute. Yes, is there for now, do we have any doubts in the session? Let's see. Okay, okay, this map was made. Let's go. All right. uh, I will just cut it, and right now it will not have anything. So let's see what's running on our app right now. It's not running. Do you see the React app here? Let's change that as well. First of all, let's go to the index.html. As I've already told you, this is the part which renders all of your code in the JSX. This is where your title is React app. We will just name it first React class. Okay. And you can see it has all automatically, I've not refreshed anything, it has automatically changed. This is the five icon it was using. It will probably not disappear from here until and unless I add another one because of cache memory. Okay. And CSS, we have already seen that this is the CSS. It is all in the app.js, the CSS is being used. So whatever you add here, let's say, let's just give the whole body no wait the whole of the code a background, a color. Okay, let's give color, text color, and let's just add a random pink right now. And you can see all of the text on our website will now have the pink text. But if I had written it just for P, and it will not show anything until and unless. That's basic CSS, and we will figure out later on if how much are you aware about CSS and how much do I need to dictate in bits. So quick text, and you will be able to see that it's small text because of the paragraph part. Okay. Mm. Can we convert a fully formed HTML, CSS, JS website to React? Honestly, for you to be able to do that, all you have to do is convert convert your code into a React structure. It cannot be converted automatically. But yes, obviously, React is bits and parts of. Can you see my screen? Huh. Okay. So React will not automatically convert your code uh, into HTML, CSS, or JS website to React website, but you'll have to do it. Like for example, uh, I will just open a single window. Now, let's say this window is a HTML code, right? And where is this? Let's create a simple index.html, and this is not part of the React tutorial. This is just I'm trying to handle the doubt. This is a simple HTML page, and I've written h1, right? Hello world right now. So what is it? What's happening here is it's a title is document, and it is a simple HTML page. If I add styles here, I can simply add styles h1 and color and black. Okay, so this is your simple HTML page. You mentioned JavaScript as well, so here is it. So we'll add some part of JavaScript here that will be running, maybe some animation or anything. So this is your one page code, right? But if you continue, this is currently we are just writing a hello world, but what if we wrote a lot of more lines of codes? So that is where React helps. So I will show you in bifurcation how this can be simply converted into your HTML code. CSS we have already covered. App.css has the same line of code. Now this hello world, right? If I have written it in the app.js part, and I will eventually add this inside the hello home.jsx component. So it will have some smaller segments of code right here, which will be reused here. And this app.js is being rendered here in this page as id root, right? So this is your HTML code where all of your components are being fetched with all the CSS that's written inside app.css, which is actually mentioned in the app.js part. So this is how you convert your HTML, CSS, JS to React. I hope your doubt is clear. Are there any more doubts? Okay. No. Yes, React means component structure. It does not mean it actually is a feature of it, but okay, React actually, it's I just know the English meaning of React, but yes, it necessarily does not mean component structure. It also means better rendering, virtual DOMs, and so on. Okay, so I'll delete the index.html for now. It's not needed here, but I hope you understood what I meant there. So now what we'll do is we'll create this into a, oh, what do I say? A simple component. So let's say, just a minute. Okay, I will create a component here inside home.js. It says, now I will import React from React. I will import React from React. R is supposed to be capital here. This is one of the few norms that you follow. Then I will create a function over here which will say hello world. World. This is a simple function. Then you are returning something to from the function which will be further when I use it as a component used in our HTML code. Now this is a div that I'm creating, and in the div I will write h1 hello. Okay, let's just copy it from there. In this div, which it will be repetitive if I leave it here. So I'll just cut it from here and paste it here. All right, and this is where you put in your semicolon, and then you simply export default. You're exporting your function whenever it is called outside, right? So we've made a simple component which says hello world, my name is Nirupama, and beep in text for checking the CSS. And in the app.js there's nothing right now. So when I'll check my rendered part, it has nothing. But now, can you see my screen? Yes, you can see my screen. Uh, yes. So this is the first React class, and currently it has nothing because you can see here, as you can see here, there's nothing inside our app. Everything comes down to the app.js. Whatever this app.js contains will be rendered on your HTML index.html and been shown on the user interface. So if I paste it again over here, it will show. But this is not my component that I had created. This is simply me rewriting the whole part. Now let's use that my component here. So what I will first do is I will import my component here. So I want to import, let's name it something. Let's name it hello world from components and components. So this is dot source, and this is the source file location home, and we are naming the component hello world. Now why is it the dull colored in my code editor? Because it's not used yet. So I will simply use it hello world, and I will close the tab here. Everything looks good. So as I mentioned before, that React uses declarative syntaxes. It means it's very easy to check. So if it had a div and then some roots or some ID, it would, yes, it would be understandable, but it would not look as good as this hello world simply, which means that here I'm rendering the whole part. So now let's see the rendered part. This is your rendered part, and you can see that whatever was written in your home.jsx is actually shown here using the component feature of React, right? Similar ways you can, like, create navbar, navbar.jsx, and different parts of a simple HTML, website, web development, and use them as components in your app.jsx so that this page looks cleaner. You are able to, there's something wrong in the navbar, you do not have to search it on a single page of 1,000 lines of code. All you have to do is go to the navbar.jsx part and edit it. So, I'll do the report React. You just, you can use IntelliSense. You can use a lot of different extensions that GitHub provides to help you with all these lines, but I would suggest you first learn and then use autocompletes and all. So then I will create a function here. This would be called navbar, and yes, we will return something here, and this div. Now let's just first, for now, we'll give a h4 calling navbar. So we are able to check this is running, and export default. navbar. Same as this navbar has to be same as this. So now we'll go to the app.jsx and import navbar from components slash navbar. And as we all know, navbar is supposed to be at the top of the page. It will always remain here. No matter how many components are added, they will all go below navbar, right? And in the similar sense, when we if let's make the footer here and it says footer, and you will be able to use this inside your app.jsx. Let's import it again. Let's import the footer, and footer will always remain at the bottom of the page. So no matter how many components are added, this will remain at top and this will be at the bottom. And here you can see it's navbar written here, it's footer written here, and eventually when we use a lot of different CSS styles and all, this will definitely look a lot better. But for today's class, I think I will be stopping here and waiting for you to drop in your doubts and to connect with me more and maybe have a conversation about React and what we can do together. All right, I will drop in the links in the chat in the channel that we have created, and this will be all from my end, Lakshit. uh, thank you. Okay, thank you so much everyone for showing up. I hope you show up in the more classes and we are able to keep it a little more interactive than this. And I think Lakshit's here.
Yes, so the task for today is first of all the things that ma'am has mentioned. You should first of all install Node and everything if you do not have it already installed, and also get I would say everything you should have everything with in your system. And I'll urge Nirma ma'am if you could share all these links that they need or require for this 4 days boot camp. Plus, I will share. Just give me a minute. I will share you one more thing. Maybe one more task that you have to do. So the task for today is very simple. You just have to make one repository, and what you need to just give me a moment. I'll just share you the link. Okay, got it. So for today, all you need to do is make a repository for this content. You have to update your readme file that what you will be making. So this is the link that I've already shared in the comment section. You have to make a repository and update your readme file with all the content that is present in this doc. Okay, so this is your today task with markdown. So make sure you put everything in your repository and make sure you update your readme file and share it with us in the group, right? And if you face any doubt or any query, just let us know. We'd be very happy to rectify or maybe solve your doubts. And thank you for joining us today. And thank you, Nirvana, for joining us today. And see you next time.
See you everyone. Thank you. Bye Lakshit. Thank you for having me.